All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome aboard to the Morning Note. My name is Carlos Garcia. I'm the founder and CEO of GAR Capital. Glad to be with you this morning and every morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time here on our YouTube channel. Make sure to like and subscribe if you like these videos. Turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. Any of our Instagram followers, make sure to hit that follow button. I was thinking subscribe button. There's nothing to subscribe to on Instagram other than our services. Our website is scrolling at the bottom. If you want free access to the live market blog, we have it running all day, every day with our great team, marketing team, handling all the news and information for you guys when you need it. Make sure to click access our Discord free plan on the website, www.gar.capital. All right, enough of that. Let's go ahead and get started. Dow futures are down 90 points this morning. The S&P is down 0.10%. The NASDAQ down 21. That's what you have in front of your screen. That's the NASDAQ futures contract. Russell futures down 0.40. Dollar index is up 0.14. Volatility index up 3%, right near 20. Crude oil bouncing. That's nice because I have XLE calls, 68.16 a barrel. Gasoline futures up 1%. We also have gold futures up 0.55% this morning. Silver futures down 0.45%. All right, so let's keep it scrolling. I think we got more here. Bitcoin is down about 1%. Ethereum is up about 2%. Forex land rather quiet. Pound dollar is down 0.47% this morning. That's the only thing that stood out. All right, let's take a look at the NASDAQ. We had Google report yesterday. We also had AMD report yesterday. So as you can see, we got a nice little pop to 788, really post Google getting that, absorbing all that information and the guidance and the conference calls and such. We still have a lot of more companies to report. We have Meta reporting today. We have Amazon and Apple tomorrow. Microsoft today as well. So all of this can change as we know. But you can see the breakout of the recent highs of 20,707, pulling back a little bit, starting to hit this level of support, at least, which was the previous resistance on Sunday when we had the Monday pullback. So what is causing this kind of pullback? Really could be just some profit taking at the end of the day. Could be a little bit of jitters ahead of more earnings today, but Google did a great job. They had a great earnings report. Pretty much answered the questions that I was looking for as an investor. Number one, is YouTube still a growth driver? It is. Is the search engine still growing? It is. Are they still handling the kind of the alternative way to search, which would be ChatGPT? And so far they are. So that's really good news on the Google front. Let's take a look at AMD. I talked about this yesterday on our Market Watch channel. I'll go and bring it up here. This is for our Signal members, excuse me. So I do kind of updates pretty much throughout the day, kind of a blog directly to you guys. So when you need to know the answer, I got you guys. I kind of try to answer questions before you guys even ask them. Taking a look at AMD, I drew a chart on it. We also put a poll up on the blog, and I think a lot of the people were bullish on it. So AMD, you can see here, this was at 324 after we did the poll. We had that gap fill at 175. The last time we had a gap to fill so close ahead of earnings was PayPal, and PayPal fell 3% yesterday. I also wrote that down. But I said the gap might be a trap for buyers. That's why I want to hold NVIDIA puts, which I still have, thinking we get a pullback after the earnings print. My target was 155. Again, I didn't send a signal out or anything. But right now, where is it trading at? It's trading at 153.60 right there. So right at 155. So did anything out of the conference call or the earnings report really concern me? Not really. Just expectations weren't met. And expectations are always important. But it's right here near the 50-day and the 100-day. So anyone who is looking to invest in the company, maybe get a position, AMD is going to be fine. I think the chip makers are going to be fine moving forward. I do fully expect the market to continue to go higher in November and December. Yes, earnings misses happen. That's completely fine. Nothing really new on that sense. But looking at it here, you see 150, looking at that first support. I think once you get to the 140 zone, that's where you're pretty good because you're right between that channel here. Do you guys remember back in June, it hit near that support of 122? 140 would probably be halfway that move if we just kind of fibbed this spot here as we sort of broke out twice. But 140, that'd be a good buy zone. AMD is still a fine company. Again, earnings missing expectations happen in terms of guidance, but their EPS and the revenue did beat. If you're looking for more details on the earnings report itself, we have it broken down here on the GAR Live Market blog. So feel free to check that out at your own leisure when you are on the Discord channel. Let's take a look at Google together. Google, I talked about that on the Sunday video, and I said I thought that Google would go higher. I even wrote that on the Market Watch, kind of reiterating that point. Let's see here, Google. We put the poll up on the blog. This is around 138. I say bullish for Google. We have a gap to fill at 183. It's at 182.14. I like 175 as a target. So if we would have sent that, again, when it comes to earnings signals, I really don't want to send that out. That's a high risk for everybody. So again, I kind of want to make things easy for everyone. But if you picked it up, great. It did work out for everyone. If you're a bull or an investor, 183.57. That is the gap to fill on the daily from, I believe this was the end of July 23rd or so. There must have been some kind of headline I forgot regarding Alphabet or / Google. But again, good earnings report. In terms of where we expect after that, I do expect higher November and December and into January. Those are the strongest months seasonally. So I think AMD and Google will be fine and continue to move higher. Let AMD churn. Let's see if we get to 140 and give us an opportunity there. All right, let's take a look at the market itself. Again, we'll take a look at S&P 500 futures. And listen, just chop. I mean, it's what it is. I know we can get very excited on earnings, but again, it could be a lot of election anxiety. I'm going to talk about the election, both candidates, their plan in terms of economics and how it'll affect the stock market. And if you want, I'll even give you a prediction, but that'll be on the podcast this weekend. I'll get that recorded. Make sure to subscribe on Spotify and Apple Music. I'll even post it on YouTube for you guys if you guys are interested in politics. But again, I'm going to keep it in regards to economics. That's the key. All right, so NVIDIA pulling back now. Yesterday, I went ahead and let all of our members know that NVIDIA was down 76%, 72% with AMD coming up. We're going to keep the signal open for the end of the week because we have more catalysts like GDP, unemployment claims tomorrow, non-farm payrolls on Friday. And with the AMD miss, NVIDIA pulled back. So I'm glad we held. I promise I'm not trying to do this on purpose. These kind of moves up and down and to frustrate anyone. That's not what we're trying to do here at GAR Capital. The idea is to make things easy for you. What I want everyone to do, if you're a member, is go about your day. Let us do the heavy lifting. We'll do the critical thinking for you. All you're doing is outsourcing to us, and we will find what you're looking for. Now, again, you still have the choice to get in or out or hold or what have you, but we're going to constantly update you. We have a whole team ready to help any way we can. I get DMs all the time. So, hey, if there's any time on Discord, you have a question, you're not sure about something, you want to tell me you hate me or you're happy with the company, great. Feel free to DM me on Discord. I would be happy to help you guys. I was helping a student earlier today. So shout out to him for hitting me up this morning. I'll see what I can do to help you out, man. People have questions. That's what it is. The stock market is a very scary place. Not a lot of people know what happens and why that happens. But you're not alone. We're here to help. And even if you aren't a paid member, we are still here to help. We have the free live market blog. We're on Instagram, posting news, all that good stuff. Always here for you guys. All right, so let's take a look at NVIDIA. So I have NVIDIA puts finally getting below 140, but none of this was a change from yesterday. Lower highs, lower lows. That's pretty much it. It broke the 200 MA on the 1 hour. That's good. We still have that gap down there, 136.13. I am just saying, it didn't look great yesterday, but I think we're going to get there. AMD's earnings, now they weren't bad, but reaction and perception are everything. How many people were short yesterday? How many people were bullish yesterday? Today kind of feels like that pop of the top where just a little volatility to get people on their toes ahead of earnings makes sense. Maybe Microsoft destroys the earnings and does great. Meta does great too, which I'm expecting Meta and Microsoft to do well. I expect them to go higher. So maybe we get just the pullback enough for us to cash in some NVIDIA puts. Maybe those who are short on AMD can cash in their puts as well. And then we'll get back to regular schedule programming of slowly melting up higher on the NASDAQ and S&P. All right. Had one more here. Oh, yeah. BABA. This one sucks, guys. BABA was a name that we posted on our server. And we were talking about, hey, we're expecting to go higher right around the 103 area. We got it. You could see it. Just pre-market. Right? We can't close options pre-market, guys. We have to wait till 9:30. And you could see there's 4 straight hours from 5 a.m. I wake up at 5 a.m. I see BABA soaring. I let our members know. And I'm like, hey, it's going to be a great day. And what happens? It just pulls back. It happens. And you can see it's pulling back again. We have a 1 hour gap now at 134. I fully expect that to fill And I still think BABA's going to bounce back. You can see it still broke out of this downward trend line. The only issue is that if we start getting around 97, I know it's the same thing over and over. This kind of choppy action, this really just up and downs of emotions. Poker players call it going on tilt. It happens. Just wait. Let the market come to you. We will see how the market plays out. Let's answer some questions. Here we go. Good morning. I hope you are well. I am. Thank you. Thoughts on Amazon now that we finally got above the cap of 190, and also SMCI auditors quit and it's plummeting. There you go. That's going to help my Nvidia puts. That's for sure. So let's go and break up Amazon. Keep in mind, Amazon reports on Thursday. Tough. That's a really tough one. And really depending on where we go in terms of the price action today ahead of the earnings, it's really going to change the risk reward outlook. If you're telling me we're at $200, yeah, I'd be a seller of Amazon. That's the Bezos wall. That's every time we've hit that $200 level, Jeff Bezos dumps more shares. So we're right around what, 194, 93, 195. So we're right there ahead of it. Thank you to Alphabet, because Amazon has cloud. That's why Microsoft's up. Amazon and Microsoft are the top cloud boys, and Google had really good growth on cloud, hence why it's up. So we're seeing that 194 level. Now, here would I buy ahead of earnings? Absolutely not. I do expect Amazon to move higher, but depending on where we are before the earnings report, if we're at 200 before the earnings report, yeah, I don't want to be long there. But if we're right around 189 or 191, yeah, I'd be long. But again, it really depends. We're now at 195. That could reject. Let's take a look at SMCI. I didn't see the headlines there. Is it plummeting? It's down $33. Yeah. Accounting issues. Ooh, not good. Pulling back now at around 30. Remember, this is post-split. Where are you now? You are now right around this zone. So if we just start drawing a couple lines, you know the saying, when it's time to buy, you won't want to. Walter Deemer. We got a gap right here at 19. That was where we were April of 2024. I mean, is it perfect line? Not really. Seems like it's a little bit off, but it doesn't matter. We'll just put an alert, and that's always perfect in line. There you go. All right, 1708. That's your level there. That's one more gap to fill. If you're looking at short-term support, right around 35.95, right there, but right around this zone. So 30 to 35, that's probably a nice, decent spot right there if you are looking to buy more. I think 1708, if things get really ugly, should be a nice little discount there. Now, again, hell of a discount from 122. Again, that could have been way overdone. But guys, we have seen these moves with names before, like a Starbucks that gets absolutely crushed and everyone hates it, and then it's bouncing again. Nike did that and then reversed back. Intel has done that, reversed back. So you have to figure out, hey, what semiconductors I want to own. And like I've said before, it's very saturated. There's so many semiconductors out there. I think the easiest way to go about it is to stick with the main two. We've been saying that since 2018. NVIDIA and AMD. Stick with those two and you'll be fine. Yes, there's way more out there. There's Taiwan Semiconductors, great company. Yes, but I think those two are the best. All right, let's go to PayPal. Yeah, PayPal, I talked about that, how having the gap right there, right above, ahead of earnings was kind of a trap for the bulls. We rejected that breakout. You'd have to get above 82 again. And if we do, now we're good, because if the bulls do look for that level to break, we're going to take a look at the 85 call. So PayPal is definitely going to be on my watch list next week. I want to get above 82, hit the 85 calls on a cheaper price with less IV and no earnings coming up. There you go. ILY. I think it's what he means is Eli Lilly. Yeah, LY. There you go. So Eli Lilly reported earnings and they're down. I have an alert at 808. It's right on it. So that is the gap fill that I was looking for. It's right below 200. So what you want now is that once we fill that gap, you're looking to break above 825. That's your 200-day. If we can get back above there, then you have a little more upside room to 900 for a trade. But you got to get above here and settle above 825. So we're at 810 right now. Did the gap fill? Probably. So once you get it back above there, remember, it's still an upward trend. It's not like anything has changed. Let's see. XLE. Yep, just talked about it. XLE pushing higher this morning. 88.25. Pulling back a little bit. I got an alert at 88.74. We can see crude oil moving higher. Crude oil has a nice gap to fill right there at 69.96, or if you want to do this gap of 71.54. I just put it here because it's the same zone of support that's been bouncing off of. But once it breaks 69, that's where we're expecting higher move on crude oil. It's way oversold right now, is all. So we're looking for a quick snapback. Intel reports earnings. Let's see it. Intel has yet to report earnings, but again, all of this is SMCI right now. So if we're looking for a way to trade this, it is kind of bull flagging here, maybe to 25. But I suggest that we just wait on Intel to report, and then we go from there. I would not try to get under this thing. But if you're asking me, what do I think about the earnings? I think the stock goes higher just based on technicals. You can see here, I drew it earlier. Got your flag pull, you got your flag. It's going to break out. It's pulling back now right around 22. It's still above the 50. But that is a bull flag formation. You should get to around 25, 37, if not 25 even. Thoughts on AMD's earnings? AMD's earnings were fine. The only issue there is that didn't meet expectations from analysts. Still had good EPS, still had good revenue, still good profitability, and a good product line and good product chain that's coming out. The only thing is that I guess they don't have the supply for manufacturing their chips. Obviously, NVIDIA's a little more efficient, has more to go in terms of the semiconductor space and the weighting, how big they are. But AMD to me is still a winner long term. Absolutely. I think AMD is fine. Good morning, Carlos. More upside on Google. Let's see it. All right. I think I talked about this one earlier. Yeah, you got the gap here at 183.75. It's about to fill. Now, the question remains, if you fill this gap, does it pull back to around 180? That's what I'm expecting, because you have 187 as next resistance, just based on this channel here. TLT. All right. TLT will be affected by the elections one way or another. Doesn't matter who wins, but TLT will be affected. You can see this upward trend line finally broken. Does it get back above there? That's what we need. If we can get it back above here, then yeah, you have a bounce to 100. But right now, it's still below it. So we got to be careful if this is just a false breakout of this downward trend or a false breakdown from this upward trend. So pick your fighter at this point. What's going to affect this will be non-farm payroll on Friday. If the jobs number is strong, we're less likely to have more rate cuts in November and December. Maybe the Fed stands pat. The question remains on the Fed is that how important is this rate path that they want? Is it going to be automatic? I think Jerome Powell, the chair of the Federal Reserve, has said it's all meetings are live, meaning that they're deciding as they go along. But if the job market is not weakening, there is no point of cutting rates. Inflation is coming down, and GDP is at 2.8%, which was just reported. So could it be normalizing inflation? Fine, but it's going to be a harder sell that, let's cut rates now when the job market is still strong. You still want to keep that ammo if things go bad, if the job market gets weaker. The last thing America wants to be is in negative rate territory. All right, so let's take a look at IG. If I had any questions, can you check SMCI? I'm short. Yeah, SMCI is tanking due to some headline I didn't read about. I think it's something regarding some auditors that quit. So pending home sales in 40 minutes, sitting in my hands until this bleeds. There you go. That's a good call. Pending home sales, very, very important to the market. GME. A question here on GME. Pushing higher. Little meme stock craze. I remember 2021 as well. Anything here? Yeah, you got an alert right here at 27.98. You could see 1, 2, 3, 4 rejections. Yes, we had one big pop, but above 27.98, that'll bring up the radar, but not right now. Can you give a rundown on my BTC vision, Bitcoin vision? All right. As we know, this is going to be a really big part of the election as well. And again, to me, the most important thing is the dollar. We could be double topping here. Here's the problem. Everyone is pricing in a Trump victory. What if that doesn't happen, guys? Is Bitcoin tank? Yeah, possibly. So again, kind of hedge your bets. You don't know until people vote. One thing is what people say. Watch what people do. We don't know what's going to happen in the election. Just because your friends or anyone is saying, I'm voting for such and such, you're not there with them in that voting booth. Anything can happen. If this is tied to Trump winning the election, we could be setting up for a horrific, under a way out of expectation fall. I mean, we're talking possibly 60,000 if that's the case. So I think dollar cost averaging on Bitcoin's fine. I think Bitcoin is going to go higher regardless who's president. You could put Elmo as president. It doesn't matter. Bitcoin is not based on a presidential election. Bitcoin is based at its black market currency. When you want to be secretive, when you want to move money without any government interference, Bitcoin is the way. That's where the utility is. That's where people want it. The demand is. Understand, Bitcoin has nothing to do with politics. It's all circumstantial in that sense. The key is, will it be used? Will it be held? That's all. And it will. I mean, we're near all-time highs. We'll get to 100K by next year on Bitcoin for sure. You already have Bitcoin ETFs. I mean, shoot, you could bet on the presidential election on Robinhood now. Bitcoin betting blunts. If you guys remember back in 2019, I said that. We're slowly getting to there. Marijuana legalization. We're going to be betting on the weather soon, probably. And then you're going to get Bitcoin betting. And Bitcoin will be higher. There you go. Bitcoin is a kind of a gambling proxy too. I mean, it's all a gamble. Let's see. Can you go over SOXL? That is the ETF for semiconductors. That's not going to help today. It's pulling back, obviously, because of SMCI. So I would wait and not do anything here. I'm just happy that NVIDIA puts might print this morning. It just hasn't really broken off yet. The top 4 accounting firms all handed their resignation according to Bloomberg. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. Good morning, Carlos. Thoughts on the miners, Riot and Coin report today? I got Mara puts yesterday, right around 1930. When I saw 1930, I thought you meant military time, 7:30. I'm like, how did he do that? Doesn't matter. Good morning, Jeff. Let's start with Riot. Did I have Riot here? All right, Riot. Pulling back this morning, just slightly. Riot, I don't see anything really worth trading. Mara, I was waiting for 20. It never broke. Coinbase does report earnings, I believe, today, like you said. I would not want to get ahead of it. But if it breaks 225.57, yeah, 250 is my next strike. That's the next target I'm looking for. All right. I think we got everybody here. All right. Answer pretty much everyone's questions. All right. I'm going to go and check in with the team, and it's 9:23 in the morning. Thank you so much for joining me again. Happy Wednesday. Let's make it a great day. And I will catch you guys later or in a bit on the Discord server. Have a great Wednesday. Cheers all.